I think it was Bob Dylan who sang, "The times, they are a-changin'." Boy, was that ever the truth, and it still holds true. Whether you're talking about a trend or a fad, the thing is, what comes around goes around. Bell bottoms, trucker caps, snow hats with the beanie, even fanny packs all seem to make a resurgence now and again. The same thing goes in fishing. What is hot this year may die off and not be popular for another 10 years. And that has certainly been the case when it comes to hair jigs, which are making a huge resurgence with walleye anglers. Today, on The Edge, Al and Dan Lindner discuss the history of hair jigs in the fishing world. From Jack Crawford's jigs to the doll fly, to today's hottest like the VMC bucktail jig. You're going to want to definitely stick around as Al and Dan also get into the specifics of how to fish these confidence baits and share some invaluable, little-known tips so you can be more effective from shallow to deep when you're out hair jigging walleye.
Of the families of jigs, Dan, I would say day in and day out for walleyes, it's one of the more productive ones. That's proof is in the pudding, huh?
Closed captioning is provided by Smooth Moves, adjustable boat seat suspensions for a smoother ride.
Oh, not here. Good walleye, good walleye. Oh,
There you go, spot lock them.
Oh, that's the kind, Dan. I
Yep.
can tell. I can tell a good walleye when I hear
Are
one.
you gonna need me to net them?
Well, this is a netter. I
Okay.
can guarantee it's a good start. I hit oh yeah, nice little spot lock fish here.
I'm just the kind of guy that can do it.
Ugh. Come here, baby.
Just the kind
I
of guy.
it just feels so good. I just love it.
Ooh. Here.
Just love it.
Yeah, look at that ripping around.
Hang on. I'll get her to you.
I'm black? Whoa!
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay. Oh, let me get in my
Nice.
comfort position here.
Yeah. Been-
Well, hang
Wow.
on, Dan. You know, you're a really good, really good net man. You know that?
Net man.
Hang on.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Kind of a semi beat up fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
But not that bad.
Nope.
And a pretty darn nice eyeball. We all got our favorite ways to catch one of our favorite fish. These are what we call confidence baits. For me, my favorite way to fish for walleyes is with a jig. I love jig fishing. Why? I can catch walleyes on jigs in the heart of walleye country 12 months out of the year. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. They jigs. And I got a question for you. When I said the word jig, what popped into your mind? What did you think about? You're a walleye fisherman and I said jig, something flashed in your mind. Was it a jig and a rainbow on the back of it? One of your favorite baits? Was it a jig tipped with a night crawler? Hey, could it have been a jigging wrap, which is a jig, a blade bait, which some guys use in a river? It could even be a jigging spoon. How about a moon-eye jig with a piece of a boot tail on the back of it? A killer when you're jigging for walleyes. Some of you said those particular baits, but I just wonder how many of you said a hair jig. Right, a hair jig. We're going to talk a little bit about hair jigs today. There's a new excitement that we're starting to see in the world of walleye fishing around hair jigs that I haven't seen in a long time, and for good reason.
There's one.
They're catching fish.
That little shuffle, Al. I'm not
Man.
kidding you, man.
You're on them. That's a big one from the looks of it, bub.
Did I get lucky with the surprise?
I'm coming back.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Whoa, that's
Bang
the
it.
same as the other one.
No.
I don't even have to net that one.
I'll get
You
him.
can flip that one.
You know,
But I will give you the shuffle. I am
I
impressed.
will give you the shuffle, the walleye shuffle. Hair jigging is so much
I
fun.
like the colors you're fishing with.
Yep, classic walleye colors. Look at that baby. It's pretty. It looks so pretty in the water. That's the cool thing about hair. It gives you the illusion of a bigger profile bait without the added bulk. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the nice thing about it. You can fish it fast. You can fish it slow. And sometimes, and it looks great either way, you know, because that hair just, woof. And then, you know, and those fish, boy, there's something about hair. All fish like hair, don't they all?
Gonna need your net here, Bubba.
Okay.
Oh, she's a good fish. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's sitting back there eating jelly beans while I'm catching fish.
This segment has been brought to you by Dan Lindner Automotive, and they want to encourage you to drive safe on the road and on the water.
Having spent a lifetime fishing all over North America, I know a lot about water, wind, and waves. Water can be an inviting place, and yet at the same time, it can also be very unforgiving. With a simple push of a button, this fully adjustable Smooth Moves air suspension is designed to tame the waves and give you a smooth and comfortable ride no matter what conditions you face. Tame the water, wind, and waves with Smooth Moves.
Get action. Do things. Be sane. Don't fritter away your time. Create. Act. Take a place wherever you are and be somebody. Get action.
You can't choose the weather, but you can choose to dress for it. Introducing Blackfish Performance Rain Gear. Utilizing patented eVent technology, this advanced membrane allows body heat and vapors to escape while offering 100% waterproof protection with an exceptional combination of waterproof and breathability ratings. Blackfish Rain Gear keeps you dry all day. Whether on the tournament trail or chasing weekend walleyes, choose Blackfish because you can't choose the weather.
This segment is brought to you by Sunset Country, Ontario, Canada. You gotta come visit.
But that's okay.
That's on the black one too, huh? Black hair?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just been, oh boy, they got a little more spunk to them. Boy, this is a nice fatter one. Come on. What'd you do, roll yourself over? Here you go. You got her?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, hang on. Whoa, ooh, look, it came out.
Good.
Let me get her. There. I like to sit down when I talk to you. You don't mind that, do you? You know, when I see it, that's a much better fish, and she's carrying a lot more weight than that last one was. That's a good one. Ooh, I love that. I love it, I love it, I love it. You know, when I started getting intrigued with hair jigs for walleyes was a few years back. But I got to thinking about the triggering effect of a hair jig. Just like you fish it like, I said, man, I wonder what would happen if we started to fish them like I did jigging wraps, or snap jigging like we did with plastic on the back of like a moon eye jig, which is so deadly. And it started to produce a whole lot of fish. And it's become a real tool for me in my everyday walleye fishing. When I'm on a jig bite, I got a jig and wrap for deep water. I got a hair jig on a rod. I got a moon eye with a split tail or boot tail on it for swimming jigs or pop jigging. It's been added to my bag of tricks. Why? Because it works. It works. This is a VMC, a bucktail jig, and what is so unique about it, or one of the things that are unique about it, the head is shaped like a pear. It's weighted front forward, heavy weight on the front, and it just makes this jig fish a lot different than say the moon-eye jig, which is used for a different purpose. Shapes of heads, dressings, the different things. There's a lot more to a jig than a ball head and sticking a minnow on the back of it. A whole lot more. And that's one of the things we're talking about today. Fine-tuning some stuff in jig fishing and the resurgence of hair jigging, which is a lot of fun. Now, if I can, I gotta stretch my brain out to get back to the origins of hair jigging for walleyes in the Midwest. You gotta realize there was a time when there were no big box retailers, and almost all tackle was sold through what we would term independent dealers. These were little mom and pop shops spread throughout walleye country. In this region, the doll fly was the first of its kind, a bucktail jig used for catching walleyes. Next was Jack Crawford's jig, which had the most diverse line of what we term hair jigs. Then came the Cap's jig out of northern Iowa. This was all prior to any mass-produced soft plastics. And then up popped the Mr. Twister and the soft bait revolution started, and the hair jig, well, it got lost in the shuffle. The fact is, hair jigging never stopped being effective. Many older anglers simply forgot how effective it was. And many new anglers, well, they don't know how good it can be.
You know, when you think about hair on the back of baits, like jigs or anything, I can think back, and I've caught, in saltwater, I've caught grouper, I've caught drum, I've caught snappers, I've caught barracuda, I've caught tarpon, I've caught dorado. In freshwater, I've caught largemouth, smallmouth, I've caught lake trout, I've caught muskies, I've caught northern pike, and crappies love hair. And there's something about the hair bait, and what I've noticed, like last year, we were crappie fishing, and I had one of the best crappie days I've ever had in my entire life, pre-spawn, and we were fishing hair underneath a float, and these fish would come up and hit that bait and swim off like it was a live minnow. And there's something about hair that's not revolting or just, you know what I mean? They'll hit it and they hold on to it, unlike sometimes with plastics. There's one.
Got him?
Oh boy, that's that light little shuffle, Al.
Yeah, I've seen that. Walnut-o.
Yeah.
You got that net open?
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
I got it.
Oh yeah, she feels like
I
had a strike right before that, and it didn't.
Is she a good one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice fish.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, no monster, but you know I'm gonna dip her anyway.
Yeah.
You had one swing at it and
Yep.
take a miss on it. There you go. You got it?
There we go. Yeah, I got it.
Up to the front.
Jesus. Junior
That's a
bit.
neater, ain't it?
Yeah, neater. This guy out of the net. Yeah, it's interesting about the the cadence of jig fishing, and it goes for whether you're fishing hair jigs like that, jig and wraps, or jigs in plastic, or any type of jig. There's a cadence that will work sometimes more than another one, and that fish right there, I was jigging it really slow, just kind of gliding it like this, and that fish, boom, hit it. And so I slowed my cadence down, and bingo, you get a bite right away. So just something you gotta keep in mind all the time, cadence.
True to Lund's tradition of quality, craftsmanship, and innovation, Lund is reintroducing the 1650 Rebel XL at a special price. With the rugged stability of Lund's double-plated IPS hull and features like an aerated live well, rod lockers, Lund's Sport Track mounting system, and even includes a travel cover. The Lund 1650 Rebel XL. Exceptional quality at an incredible price. To find your nearest dealer or to get a free catalog, visit lundboats.com.
At Mercury, there are no limits to the lengths we'll go to make sure you have no limits either. Unlimited adrenaline. Unlimited fun. Unlimited weekend. Except maybe having to go home eventually. Introducing the all-new V8 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly.
what lies beneath can no longer hide. New Mega Imaging Plus uses high-frequency sonar to show you fish and structure up to 200 feet below your boat and 200 feet out to either side. No more secrets, no more guesswork, just a clearer picture of the world below, down to a fish's species and direction. Because more detail means more of this. Only from Humminbird.
The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
You know what I'm doing with this jig is fishing it aggressive. Nothing on it. Yeah, if you want to put minnows on there, you could put minnows on there or a piece of crawler and that. They're beautiful jigs for that. But I'm fishing it like I would with a piece of a split tail or a boot tail. Real aggressive, snap jigging it. Right now we're in fairly shallow water, so yeah, you know, we're catching fish from about 6 to 12. Yeah, you know, so we're throwing 1/4 ounce jig, nothing on it, just snap jigging it, just the same way I would fish that Rapala or that boot tail as an example. And the idea is it's triggering fish. It's not that finesse deal. And you pop it, you pop it, you pop it. You know, I'm using the same rod and reel combos that I use for my jigging wraps and my BMCs with soft plastic on the back of it. Yeah, you know, in this case, I'm fishing icons. I'm using the 6/8 medium power, extra fast action, and this works really good for this kind of fishing. I'm using a Daiwa Fuego 2500, and it's the LT, which means light and tough, a deadly, deadly combination for this type of fishing. It's my favorite rod reel combination for what I'm doing. You could use braid if you're comfortable with braid. You could fish with fluorocarbon. I got braid rods if I'm jigging deep, fluorocarbon in clear water conditions. There's a new mono that I'm using to learn a little bit more about it. Suffolk calls it advanced mono, and it's a low stretch. That means it's got a lot of feel. It's abrasion resistant, and that's good. In a lot of the lakes that we fish walleyes these days got zebra mussels, so that's a plus when you're jigging, you know, jigging across the bottom. It fishes with some of the qualities of a fluorocarbon, but it handles like a mono. You know, it's really friendly on your rod and reel combination. So it's a really neat a mono. There hasn't been a mono like this come on the market, something new like this in many, many years.
So I had a mark on that spot where we got that fish. We'll come back a little bit later on, but Al's got 3 favorites set up right here on this one. This is where you got a map on one side, sonar on the other one. Then he's got map and down imaging. And then his 3rd favorite is side imaging, left and right 100-foot, sonar and map at the same time. So these little quick buttons are so nice for when you're jumping and running around doing what we do.
Clearwater Lake, we're catching a lot of those fish, you know, fairly shallow. We had the overcast, but that game's over. We're gonna go out and check some deep water structures. That's one of the neat things about these bigger lakes that have a lot of walleyes in them. There's a lot of places to go and a lot of ways to catch them. Decided we're gonna come out and poke a little bit on some deeper structures. Play a little bit deeper, kind of cleared up a little bit. We're on a fairly clear lake. Lake's got a lot of fish. I mean, I know there's deep fish along with those shallow fish too. Maybe even some weed fish, but find a few of them big gals hanging out here. Got him. You got him.
Shoulders?
Can't tell. Feels pretty good.
Well, plan for
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good, Dano. Yeah, I think it might be the best win of the day.
Good.
Not a giant, but, you know, it's been fun.
You deserve them.
Yeah, I really, truly believe that one of the next actual major, I can't handle that fish. major breakthroughs that we're going to see in the world of walleye fishing is going to revolve around in the next few years around hair jigging and combinations of different kind of things that make up hair jigs, where, when, how, why, and we're going to get a little better definition of how to use them in depth throughout the season. I think this is the next growth area for walleye fishermen, and you want to be in on it. You want to be one of the ones doing the news reports on Target Walleye saying, look at this, I got another whopper on a hair jig. Something you got to add to your bag of tricks. You're a jig fisherman, you fished all kinds of different jig baits and don't have hair in your box. Got to get some in there.
Help your marine engine run smoother and last longer with Marine Pro from the makers of Seafoam Motor Treatment. Marine Pro is specially formulated for all types of gasoline marine engines. Marine Pro works to clean fuel passageways, cleans and lubricates critical upper engine areas, protects from the harmful effects of bad fuel and corrosion, and stabilizes fuel up to 2 years. Just pour it in. Fast starts and smooth running power have never been this easy. Marine Pro is available now at Fleet Farm.
Hey, you just got to visit Sunset Country.
From the kennel to the coop, whatever the season, Fleet Farm has everything to keep your animals happy and healthy. Whether you're getting them through the winter season, mastering those retrieval skills season, or wondering who takes care of who season. There's a reason people say, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, you don't need it, because we have it all. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
You want more angling edge? Well, our Facebook, YouTube, and website are constantly being updated. It's like overtime of your favorite show. Check out the store with the brand new apparel. And purchase 5 DVDs at the incredibly low price of $25. That's 5 DVDs for just $25. Place an order at anglingedge.com. The Edge is presented by these and other fine sponsors.
Oh!
Another one?
Another one.
Are you kidding me?
Ooh. Oh. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. This one, Dan, I'm legitimately saying is a good one. A good one. You know, it's always fascinating to me. Ooh, this is a better fish.
Oh yeah. You're probably going to see some
I
white belly.
actually even had the back reel. I got a back reel a little bit.
This is a doozy.
I got to do a little back reeling. Oh yeah.
You know when you pull them up and they don't want to move on you.
Back reeling. Oh yeah. Nicer one. Oh, that's a good one. Nicer fish there.
Ooh la la. Whoa.
Hang on, baby.
Yeah.
Oh boy, she's.
Yeah.
Whoa, she's tired. A big old gal.
Wow,
Look at this one.
wow. Now we're
Oh
talking.
boy. Now
Does
we're
hair
talking.
Produce or does hair produce?
Well, you know what? I can almost use that. Oh boy, that's a good one, Dan. Look at that.
Wow. Get this net out of there.
Look at that fish. Wow.
Beautiful fish.
She's hooked right in the tip of the nose. Like I was saying, hair jigs are here to stay. Lots happening in the world of walleye fishing. Hair is going to be part of it. It already is. And it works with plastic, it works with live bait. There's times you could trigger a reaction bite with it just the way it is. Of the families of jigs, Dan, I would say day in and day out for walleyes, it's one of the more productive ones. That's proof is in the pudding, huh? You know, about a month ago, my pastor did a Sunday service titled Distractions. Talked about this little thing here. One of the biggest distractions that we have to face in the world today, and just think about it. It is a major distraction, and there's a lot of other things that kind of take away priorities in our life for a period of time. I want to share something with you that very few people have ever heard me share before. And after this teaching on distractions, it really brought back a thought to me. Years ago, when our family had In Fisherman Communications Network, I had a call from one of these organizations. Many of you know about Make-A-Wish or Dream Makers. There's a number of organizations like this where young people dealing with serious issues, health issues, and they have a dream to want to go meet a particular person, one or another. So I had a call, 10-year-old young man. It was in April. And I talked to the person from the organization, the parents and everything, and I said, yep, we're going to take them fishing, going to come up here. That was the whole plan. Well, I got distracted. And it was May, June, July, August, September. And I got back and I had that yellow sticky sitting there. I called back in September to work everything out. You know the rest of the story. I was too late. Went, closed my office door, cried, had a talk with God. Sorry, Lord, I blew this one, and it tore me up. Now, you know, I know people that think, do you hear from God? Does God ever talk to you? Well, I had a God moment there. There was no question about it. And here's what happened. In my heart, here's what I believe I heard after that. He says, you were my first choice. I wanted you to take this young man out and take care of the situation. You blew it. Don't worry about it. I sent another laborer there to do your job. Don't ever let it happen again. That's what I heard in my heart. I had to share that with you. Distractions. Don't let distractions impact your life like a situation that I just shared with you. I'm free of it now. I got free of it when I heard that. I got free of it. But it changed my outlook on life in a big way. Hey, from all of us here at The Edge, have a good, safe fishing season. We'll see you on the water.
Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching. And if you really like what you see, we got a whole lot more. So check us out at any one of these online outlets. You know, in fishing, there are good days and there are great days. Time is just a wink from the Almighty. We plan, target, rig, and play the game like everyone else.